Okay, this is Chapter 13 pre-quiz, question number 10. One way of checking the effect of undercoverage, non-responsive, and other sources of error in a sample survey is to compare the sample with known facts about the population. About 10% of American adults are black. The numbers X of blacks in a random sample of 1,600 adults should therefore vary with the binomial with an N of 1,600 P of 0.1 distribution. What are the mean and standard deviation of X? Alright, remember that the mean of a binomial distribution is N times P. So I've taken 1,600 times 0.10 to get 160 blacks for the mean. Standard deviation is the square root of N times P times Q. So I have the square root of 1,600 times 0.10 times 0.9. Remember, Q is just 1 minus P. So 1 minus 0.10 is 0.90, which gives us 12 for a standard deviation. B then asks us to use the normal approximation to find the probability that the sample will contain between 145 and 175 blacks. We're going to use 3 decimal places. So our calculator is going to help us come up with this number. We're going to go to second and distributions again, and we want to use number 2. This is the normal distribution. See, again, this tells me this is for the cumulative distribution, and we pretty much aren't going to be using the normal PDF because the normal distribution is a continuous curve. So what we need to put in for this distribution are the boundaries, so what we want the area to be between. So between 145 and 175. At this point, I can either calculate the mean and standard deviation, which I have already done, so I'm going to put in 160. However, I could enter 1,600 times 0.1. That way, if I had done any rounding, that it wouldn't affect my answer. And the standard deviation is 12. And again, I didn't round that, but I could put in the square root of 1,600 times 0.1 times 0.9 as well. Press enter and I get 0.7887, and so to the nearest 3 decimal places would be 0.789.